My favorite time of the week, the Sunday evenings. I love it. I've been trying to get my guest today, is Licia. You would have seen her from the Offside Maiden show, of course. I've been trying to get her on for a couple of weeks. But she doesn't know that I planned it like this because I wanted the 50 episode to be kind of special, you know. So I kind of planned it in a way that's why I kept on, no, can we do it the following week? Can we do it the following week? So because your story is very special, your experiences are very special, and I just thought I wanted to do something special for the 50th episode. So welcome to the 50th episode of the podcast show, and you guys know what you're gonna need to do. You guys can subscribe to this channel, obviously. You can click that notification bell for all future videos as well. So we can become part of the family. We're currently pushing to that milestone, that 2,000 milestone currently. We're nearly there. I think we're about 14, 15 subscribers away. So guys, come on, get on board, become part of the South African family. You're looking quite cozy. It's cold there in Abeja.
It is. It has been quite cold in the cribs. I'm so honored that you waited for the 50 for me. This is a sign I'm gonna score 50s this coming season. But yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, you did keep me waiting for like weeks. Like I was like,
Yeah.
is today the day? Is today the day? Oh my word, is today the day? Now it's finally here.
No, I'm trying to build up that nerves. It has to build up. What does it say on your shirt? I really don't.
I
Like if
really
I
don't care.
don't care. Okay, cool. That's awesome. There's a song by Machine Gun Kelly that I really like. All I say is I don't know nothing. Always I don't know nothing at all. It's a great song that just reminds me of because that whole song was supposed to be about them not caring what people say about them, and so good song on the new album. Talking about heroes, that's one of my heroes actually. Not okay. People gonna look at him and gonna see this tall white dude with blonde hair, bleach blonde hair, and earrings and nail polish and tattoos all over. They're gonna say, "How can that be your hero?"
Okay.
You see, if I can't have tattoos. So if I curiously have to live through someone else. No,
Fine, we understand.
but no. The reason why I think I'm not the type of person that I feel that a lot of people will say this. I think a lot of people will say that they're not the type of person that will get starstruck very easily or anything. But I feel that at any point, if I had to meet him, I will get very emotional, and I'll tell you why. Because and why I say he's one of my heroes is because particularly because of his story and what he's gone through in his career and his life. I felt that when I picked up and heard his music for the first time, I think he was about 19, 20, and he's only about a year older than me. So, because he was the same age as me, as he became a star in the music industry, I was also trying to be a musician at the same time. So, I think the struggles that he went through in the industry, I mean, he almost gave up. There's a particular song where he speaks about it, about his journey when they were driving. They drove all the way, I think it was 13, 14, 15 hours or something like that. 16 hours they drove to a concert that they booked out. And he got to the door and he was told no, they booked it out to someone else, sorry. So he drove all the way to that place and they told him no. On the way back on the highway, he pulled over on the highway to swap with his friend to take over the drive. And a drunk driver, sped into him. I don't know if it's a drunk driver, but his car sped into him, into the car, crashed the car, and they all ended up in hospital. And at that moment, he actually sat it, like he speaks about how he thought about must I end my music career, must I not? On his way back home, he was like on Vicodin, and like obviously he was on Vicodin for the pain and all of those type of things. And he got a call. His manager said, "There's someone on the phone for you right now. They're gonna call you right now." So Half Pierre, who's one of the guys on the labels of Bad Boy Records, saw one of his video called "Chip Off the Block" on the internet, and that's how I saw him. Because when I saw the video, it didn't have much views yet, and it became viral in Cleveland. It got over 25 million views within a couple of like a month or 2 months or something like that. So he went completely viral off of one particular song that made him famous within Cleveland, to the point that he couldn't even walk into malls like in Cleveland. It got that heavy as he progressed. So he was on Vicodin. He was thinking about ending his career, and they said, please hold for Sean Combs. So Diddy was on the phone to want to sign him, and his career changed completely from there on out. So like
Um,
his story, and I mean, going from, he was one of those stories from riches to rags, not from rags to riches. So like,
yeah,
because his, like, his father and his mother got divorced, and he was a dropout at school. His father got kicked out and had to live in the basement of his aunt's house. So that's where he made his music, in the basement. So he had to really grow, and he never got recognition for so many years until now. It's the first time that he got a number one, that he got a Billboard award for best rock album. It's the first time he got recognized for something as big. So it took him almost 10, 20, 10, 10, 10 years or something like that before actually became recognized by the public. So that's why I'm like, I think he's one of my heroes, because he really pushed me to like never give up and think about that. I don't know. I know we're talking about heroes, and we will get into the cricket heroes very soon as the guys start
no,
signing
like
in.
no, I like that. I like that storyline. It's something that I've also been battling with, like over the past 4 years. Wanting to leave playing cricket is like I
Yeah.
just like yeah, like I worked, I worked really hard. Like it's not a winter that I haven't been in the net. So during cricket season, during off season, I've always been in the net. And then 2017 came, and I lost my grandmother,
Oh
and
wow.
she was my biggest supporter. Like she had the beginning stages of dementia, but the one thing she never forgot was, when I leave the house, I'm going to cricket. So every time I came back, she'd ask, "Did you win?" Whether it was practice or a match, and then every time I just tell her, "Yes, ma, I won. Thank you for asking." So that was the one thing that was like, should I really continue? Because like she's not there anymore. And then 2 weeks after she passed, EP hosted this tournament for the club, and I
Mm.
told my coach, "Look, I'm not gonna play. I'm not in a good space." And then he was like, "Okay, sure." But then it so happened that my team, the second game, my team needed a player. So then I went, and I just bowled like 1 over, and I didn't bat. I was a maiden. And then 2 weeks later, we were in the semis, and the semis and the finals happened the same day. And for some reason, I just woke up that morning and I was like, today I'm taking 7 wickets. Like I just told myself, look here, you're gonna take 7 wickets. You're gonna divide it 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 1. I don't care. You're gonna take 7 wickets. And in the semis, I took two for 9 in 3 overs. And then I told myself, okay, look, your 5 is a lot to us, so don't worry about it. Just get so 1 or 2. 5 is a lot. But then I bowled my first over in the finals, and I took 3 wickets. It would have been a hat trick, but then like yeah. And then in my third
Listen,
over in the final, I took the last two. So I was like, oh my word, you took 7 wickets. So then that gave me a bit of motivation to carry on again. And then unfortunately, 3 months later, just before I turned 21, I lost someone to cancer, someone who was very close to me. So then, and she was like, from primary school days up until she passed, she was a very big support for me. So when I lost
mm,
her, I was like, this is insane. Like all the times that I've been practicing when I promised to go visit her, and like it just got too much. So I was like,
yeah,
do I really have to carry on with cricket? Like, oh. And then like it went like that for about 2 years, and then in 2019 I got a message from the former EP coach saying, "Look, yeah, I want you to come and practice with my squad." And I was like, "Are you mad? What are you saying? Like, I've been going through a slump. What are you saying?" You know? So he's like, "No, I want you as part of my squad." And yeah, then I got the opportunity, went to EP. I made my debut last year, but then I didn't do much because I had a fractured thumb. But I was gonna play. I didn't care. I was gonna play, and then like that just reignited the fire. Just keep going, and like it really just takes one person for you to just continue. You know.
yeah.
So yeah, I
It's
like that story.
Yeah, it resonates with me, your journey as well, because I think with me as well, when like I started playing guitar from a very young age. So I was about 6 or 7 when I first picked up a guitar. I was still in Holland when I first played guitar. And I had this little mini guitar, of course. And when I came back, I continued, jumped from teacher to teacher. Couldn't really find a synergy with anybody until my mother introduced me to someone that used to teach her at Hewitt at the time. And it was someone that was pretty well known in Cape Town as one of the top. He was a UCT as well, lecturer as well in music and a teacher there. His name was Nifa van der Schuyf, and I met him in grade 7, and ever since then he became like a mentor to me. From someone that was actually, I could put him in that category as an hero, because whenever I had an issue, whenever I had problems, when you're a teen like that, when you're young teen like that, you're going through your own problems at school, and maybe there's a girl that you like and you don't know how to talk to her, and like you're just scared to maybe go to your parents and ask them for advice. So you have someone that you can speak to, and we had an excellent bond from that perspective. He was like a father figure to me in that way, in many ways. Yes, okay, he was a lot older than my parents, but it felt like that. And he could see that I wasn't a classically trained guitarist necessarily, but because he knew I was trying to get into high schools like Rondebosch Boys, etc., he trained me classically, but he did it in a way that would kind of suit me, man. So right through grade 6, grade 7, I mean, it got to a stage where he was the only person that knew that I sang and wrote music. So like I opened up to him about that because I didn't want to tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I didn't think I could sing. I didn't think I could really write good music. So I didn't know who to show it to. So I used to show it to him. And then he was very talented from that perspective. In fact, he had one of those. He used to tell me that he had this Jimi Hendrix guitar, like one of the few that there were in the world that he had there, that he stored in his house, that he kept for himself. And he showed it to me, and he said, he even told me like one day, you can get it, you can take it. It was a proper bond that we had from that perspective. And grade 8, he was still my coach, my guitar teacher. And it helped because you needed to do training with your guitar teacher that was at high school as well. So he was a student of Nifa. So there was a synergy there. So like he used to communicate with Nifa, and then I used to do all my creative stuff and all my extra training with Nifa if I didn't fit it in that lesson. So he'd give me some homework, and he'll give Nifa a call, and they had a communication. Then that man left. So I lost another teacher that I felt like, damn, there was a connection there, and a new teacher came to the school. Grade 9, round about, I was 15 years old. I was supposed to go to him on this particular day, and I came home from school. I actually cancelled because I had to do something else. I think my sports training ended later. I had to go for extra practice or something. As I walk into the house, I greet my mother. My mother sitting on the couch. She looks like worried, man. And I was like, okay, what did I do now again? So my first reaction is when they're sitting in the front room. They're sitting in the front room. My first reaction is like, what did I do now again? So I walked inside. I dropped my bags. I hear my father call me inside. It's like they sit me down. They look at me. They tell me, Khalid, Nifa passed away. So I was like, I looked at them. I didn't know what to do. I looked at them strangely. I got up. I walked inside. I picked up my guitar that he actually bought for me for my birthday. Like he went with me to go buy it and pick it out. I started playing and I started crying. And I didn't know what to do because that was someone that was very close. And I was already struggling in high school at that point anyway, with my own struggles, with like pressures because I was doing so many sports at the time and fighting in judo competitions and trying to mentally be like focused there, plus my schoolwork, plus my guitar. It was a lot that I was trying to juggle at the same time, swimming, so much. And then that happened, and it affected me to the point that I was even thinking about giving up music. And initially, my marks dropped drastically. I mean, I was doing it pretty well, and then it just dropped drastically. And I just didn't feel that anybody understood, like
Yeah.
that it affected me as much. Like I got a sorry for that happening to you from one of the teachers, and that was it. I just had to continue doing what I needed to continue. But it affected me for quite some time. I think it still affects me till this day. Every time I pick up a guitar, you get that feeling. So, from a mental perspective, to lose someone. I mean, I also lost my grandmother also when I was in first year as well. It was someone that was a figure for me too. That I felt that actually she used to throw balls at me when she was still sitting in a chair. She used to throw balls with me when I was a kid. When I was playing in the driveway, so she used to throw the balls at me when I was playing cricket after school. So yeah, we lost her as well, and someone that was also dear to me. So from a mental perspective, Lisha, I want to ask you. For me, it was just pushing through it. For me, it was just continuing, writing with his memory, writing, singing with his memory, knowing that you're not just doing it for yourself anymore; it's for someone else too. Um, I think those things kind of push you through it and motivate you. Having a support structure as well is so important. For you, what was it that catalyst that made you change your mind about, um, or put you back on the positive path?
Um, I also like one of my guilty pleasures is writing poetry. So I use that to like um get through my emotions day from day to day. But personally, I'm someone who doesn't share emotions. So I won't tell you, I won't share with you, look, guys, today I'm not feeling a yoba or whatever. I'll keep it in and keep it in and keep it in until this one day comes and something small happens and I explode. So um, I just tried to write what I was feeling, and I went into the net, hit a few balls, but then like I wasn't doing it properly. I was doing it out of anger, like why and you know. So then I just decided I'm gonna take a step back from cricket, from playing actually, and then just focus on something else, but still in cricket. That's when I got my coaching certificate, and then soon after my coaching certificate, I got my umpiring level 1 and level 2, and then also my international certificate in scoring. So, like, I focus on everything else except playing because I felt like playing was the thing that's taking people away from me.
Mm,
And then when I met Coach Sia, I was still like in a mental slump. I met him in 2018, I think. Um, but like he's been since day one, since before I was in the squad. He's been that person saying, "Look here, don't give up on yourself. I see something in you, and all I just want to know, all I want to hear is like, just leave cricket. Like I just needed someone to be like, just leave
yeah.
cricket. But he was that person who just said, "Look here, continue doing what you're doing. You're gonna make the EP squad." When I made the EP squad, he's still been a very massive support. Um, I've had like ups and downs. Like when I joined the EP squad, I've had some anxiety attacks at practice, but that
Sure.
came from me just like thinking about my grandmother, thinking about um this lady that I lost. So I was like it was hectic. It still is. And something else that also helped was like therapy, like speaking to someone. But obviously,
Mm.
like I'm like a closed
Yeah.
shell. Like you'll crack me open and then I'll just like find a way to like, close up again. But yeah, like I have massive respect for Coach Sia. He's also my unsung hero. Because like he's really been there. Like I've been through so much this past season as well, on and off the field. And he's always been the one like he'll message me randomly saying, "Woodsy, are you good?" And I'm like, "How did you know?" you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yes.
I owe him so much. Like I have massive respect for him.
Well, you've got a new community and family here with you. Cricket Fanatics Magazine is that for you. The fans out there, all of them, the Offside Maiden show. So don't be afraid to this come on and let loose on any of the shows. To this get your ego all out there, or we see it sometimes.
I
We see
think
glimpses
I
of it.
think I yeah I was just about to say I think I give it a lot on the offside maidens.
Yeah, I think Licia makes the show offside sometimes. She puts the offside in the maiden show. No, it's excellent. I
There
love
has
it.
to be that one.
Has to be. I love the vibe on that show. It's something that I really want to promote here. And guys, you need to check that Offside Maiden show out. You'll get a whole different insight into cricket. I promise you guys, the personalities over there, the thought process, the balance of the people on that show. I have to say, it was excellently. It fell into place. Funnily enough, it wasn't planned, so it literally fell into place like that. And they built an excellent chemistry on camera. And I must shout out to Emily and shout out to Tara for hosting. Shout out to the twins. Shout out to Lucy sometimes when she comes on when she's not too late. Shout out to Licia, of course. You guys are doing an excellent job, so keep it up. We need to talk about the topic here, because I mean we went on with some excellent conversation that I think is very important, and it also makes sense for the for the next issue of the magazine, which will all be on mental health. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe to that, and obviously you will get all the back issues as well, absolutely free. There's no cost, so why not do it? Meeting your heroes. Is there? We spoke about one of my heroes that really inspired me at the beginning of the show, and I want to talk about something that you've been doing recently that is quite excellent. I mean, there's been these podcasts that I've seen the pictures and I'm like, wow, Licia's mixing with the stars. It's a real big thing over here. Like I asked you, actually, you sent me one of the pieces that you did. You wrote some notes from the meeting, and you wrote an excellent piece that's on the website. So please go check it out on cricketfanaticsmag.com. On Robin Uthappa, which was excellent insight into cricket, etc., and just into advice for any cricketers. From your perspective, though, Licia, which guests that so far, and who are some of the guests that you got to speak to, and what was that experience like?
Sure. So it started with Robin Uthappa, then we went to Sanju Samson, Lawrence Klusner, Sean Pollock, Wandile Guavu. Recently it's been Kish and Shamsi. My favorite was KG because he was just chilled there with his milkshake. Like, I'm gonna drink my milkshake now. And Andrif Nikia, my favorite was actually when there was all females. So there was two. There was a show with Claire Blanche, the Western Province coach, and Laura Volpas.
Shout out to Claire.
They were
Shout
on,
out to Laura.
yeah, yeah. And then the one that I really enjoyed was with Tanisha. We all love Tanisha. Um,
Brilliant.
and yeah, Sanala Japta. Um, Laura Goodall. I get
Hmm.
confused with Laura,
Yeah.
and and Ayabonga Kaka. That was my favorite one. Just like seeing these females where like we as provincial cricketers, as club cricketers, where we dream to be. So
Hmm.
connecting with them has been like special. Like just asking everything that you want to know, and them answering like chilled. It's been quite something.
I noticed like I want to talk to you more about KG, because it's someone that I always wanted to talk to. I had one communication with him when I was at my previous work, where I had to phone him up and talk to him about like something off the field. It wasn't necessarily about something that I really wanted to speak to him about, like a proper cricket. It was a kind of a off the field type of vibe. And I got that interview done with him. Then obviously we got him in press conferences, and you get a certain type of KG in the press conferences. But when I really got to see what he's like is when he's laid back. And that was at the Cricket South Africa Awards when I got to interview him there. The way he was off camera before, he made me feel comfortable. He was patient with me getting up my tripod and putting up the camera, and he was like, no worries. He was relaxed. He was laid back, just won awards. So he was really like boosting and very happy about it. But the conversation just flowed with him, and I feel that Cage is a type of person that just has this aura, and And when he talks, you listen, man. Like, you know what I mean? Because when he talks, sense, like when he feels like it, and when he has the time, and when he gives you your time, he speaks a lot of sense. And he says things that are very powerful. So I want to know what it was like in that setting to speak to a guy like KG.
He was. I'm a massive KG fan. I think we all are, but like I've met him at St. George's, and he is like two different people. Like when you're interviewing him, or when you just see him in the corridors or on the staircase. But like sitting in, he was actually really chill. He kept his answers like very simple, like very basic. Like there was one question where they asked him how does he prepare his spells, and he was just like, just do the basics, keep it simple. Why do you want to change things? And I just looked at him and he's like, slip. So I'm like, look at this guy. Like, what am I supposed to write? Like, keep it simple. Like, give me something, give me more, you know? But like, it was very basic, like, but to the point, and like, he spoke a lot of sense. Like, he's like, he made a good point of not overcomplicating your game. That's something that we as cricketers do. We overcomplicate things, we overthink things, we want to bowl a certain way. We want to impress the captain, we want to take wickets. But then he was like, sometimes you don't have to take wickets. Just bowl the dots. Then your partner bowling on the other side can come in and take the wicket. Like it's also working in partnerships, just like batting partnership is also bowling partnership. So it's like a lot of us don't think about that. We just think we've got six balls. Let's try to get the wicket instead of trying to apply the pressure. So that was something that really stayed with me.
Yeah, I mean we've seen KG ride pressure like it's a surfboard in Dudno Beach, or a surfboard at what's it, Bloberg Strand. Because I mean he's the type of guy that from a young age straight into cricket, straight into the highest level. I mean there was, it almost looked like it was a duck to water for him. It was so how can I say, it was so easy for him to transition from being an under 19 player straight into the Proteas setup. Like it didn't phase him. But did he speak about that? Did he speak about that transition? Because I mean, it might have looked easy for him to us, but we know that it must have come with some challenges.
He didn't actually. Like, I know there was a guy that asked him, like, do you remember you played for Gauteng somewhere, something? But he was like, he just spoke about the then and now, like what he's going through now and what he has to do in his stars now. He didn't really touch on his journey. Like some other people would have touched on their journeys, but he didn't. Like, he just came out chilled, cool, okay, I made essay, that's it. I'm one of the best. So what? He wasn't cocky about it. He was just happy to share some tips.
And some of the others, let's talk about some of them. Is there a specific person that you met in person? Because on Zoom it's a bit different, but you as a scorer, your time as a scorer, you must have seen quite a few stars that you maybe like you looked up to as a kid, maybe, and they were your heroes.
Whew, when I saw Sean Pollock,
Yo,
I froze. I froze. He like walked and he was like, hi, and I was like, I couldn't speak. And then when I saw him again on Zoom, like he was chilled and like he just spoke like when I started playing cricket, one of my goals was to be an all rounder. But like to be an all rounder, like you need a lot of stamina and energy. And so he shared like some tips on that, like um when you go to practice, you have to have specific time slots for what you want to do, like 20 minutes for batting, and in between the batting and bowling, you have to stay busy so that your body can get used to being busy all the time, staying active. So like hearing that stuff from him, I was like, oh my god, Sean Pollock, guys, like. And then another person who I've seen around quite a few times, and who the people who know him knows he's loud. Makai and Tini is he's a favorite. he always comes into the scorer's box, always shady, you know. But like he's really lovely. He actually told me once I was talking about my fitness test. So as provincial, well, everyone has to do fitness tests, right? So this particular one, I failed with the yo-yo test. Is something what they call it a beep test as well. So like I failed. I only ran till level 15, which is not really a fail, but you know. Um. So like I was just talking about it in general, and he looked at me and was like, "What? You're a provincial player and you can only run till 15? No, no, no. We're gonna go to the harbor tomorrow morning and we'll run from the harbor to Shark Rock." So I was like looking at this guy and I'm like, what you to tell me? you know? So yeah, but he's also been like a gem. I've met Quentin also. He's not someone
That's
who
an
speaks a
interesting
lot.
character. Very interesting character that.
he's, he's not someone who speaks a lot, but he gave me his time. Like I asked him like how does he go about his batting? He didn't say much. He just said, just trust yourself, and then I was like, okay, that helps. Whatever. Let me just go. you know. Um and someone who I've spent a lot of time with, who's not necessarily my hero, but who's a friend. He plays for Sri Lanka. We've spoken about him as a maiden. Lahiro Kumara, I've spent a lot of time with him. And he's also someone who's always like, I've asked him bowling tips, and he was just like, you need to gym. Like, you need to get into the gym and get
Mhm.
stronger, like your upper body, and you need to train your legs, and you need to bowl like 10, 12 overs every practice session. So I was like, okay, and like I was trying to get him to tell me how he bowls so fast, but like he couldn't answer me. So I was like, useless. But yeah, nah, he's good.
Yeah, it's crazy that when you meet, they always say don't meet your heroes, like you'll get disappointed. Now, I have a story about that I'm not probably going to say on here. I think it's something that maybe we will do when we get 100,000 subscribers. Then maybe I will speak about that particular story. But like they say, never meet your heroes. But there's certain people that really surprise you, and you'll know that they're like that. Like you kind of get that vibe when you see the way they interact with other cricketers on the field and stuff. It was particular. I'll talk about it. There's two incidences. Like the first, okay, the first encounter was at the first Cricket South Africa Awards that I went to. Now I was waiting for. No, I'm lying. It was the second one that I went to. It was the second one I went to with Cricket Fanatics Mag. Now we didn't have a lift from there to the airport, and we were waiting for the bus, and we were like, "Oh, we have to wait for the second bus to come to take us to the airport." So one of the guys that I was with at the time, Zahid, he's been on the show before. He was talking to Hashim Amla because they've done stories together before and stuff like that. And then Hashim said, "No, you know what, you guys can come." So then Keshaf, when I got to the car, it was Keshaf and Imran Tahir, and then Ash came afterwards, and Keshav was driving the big VW combi. So they said, "No, come inside, come sit in the car, whatever." Tahir is like, "Come sit next to me, I'll come sit here." So I was like, what the flip? I was like, Keshav sitting, driving this car, Abla sitting in the front seat, and Keshav sitting on the left hand, Tahir sitting on the left hand side of me, and Zahir sitting on the right hand side of me. And we just having a conversation in the car like it is normal. It's like, "Hey guys, also going to the airport. What time's your flight?" Whatever the case may be. Amla was sitting in the front seat reading his Quran, just calm there. Imran was talking to me and chatting to me. "Oh, how's the words? How was the food? Whatever." Just
Yeah.
random stuff. Or you'll be on his phone and you see something funny. And he bumps me and he's like, "Look." I was like, "Then I laugh and I'm like, okay." It was so crazy. I was so starstruck. And you see Keshav in a different environment. He was like, someone was driving crap, like really badly. And he was like, "Come on,
Yeah.
guy, man." And he's so calm behind the wheel. I was like, if that was
Oh
me
my
behind the wheel,
word.
I was like, if that was me behind the wheel, I would probably be rolling down that window and telling the
Yeah,
piece of my mind.
yeah.
Keshav's like, so calm. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Like, what you like? He's like, "No, man. You just like so calm."
Yeah.
And I mean, like, to this be the car with him, it was like so crazy. But it's particularly Tahir that I want to talk about because I interviewed so many guys in that MSL in the Mzansi Super League, that the last one. But Tahir stood out to me because of his overall presence and attitude towards me. Now, look here, David Miller, great interview. Quentin de Kock, we did a Q&A with the fans. Funny guy. The answers that he gave me were hilarious. Then you got the likes of like, I did Moin Ali, we did all of them, great guys, etc. But Tahir jumps out to me because even Alex Hales, I was very shocked about. I know I shouldn't be, but Alex Hales, how nice he was, like, and how accepting he was. He even tried to make me feel more comfortable talking to me before the camera went on. Like, I was very shocked, like the way he was, because you hear all these things in the paper about him and in the media. You know, the
Yeah.
English media get. We know because we're Manchester United fans. We know how the media
Ah,
gets,
mama.
which we're going to talk about
Not
next because I want to know who your
not just
heroes
the
are there.
media, not just the media, thoroughly too.
Offside, the offside maintenance girls, other than Emily and Licia. So when the thing that got me is I asked Imran beforehand if I can interview him. He's like, "Oh, yeah, we can do it, my brother. We can do it, my brother." He called me my brother throughout the conversation. He said, "How long do you want it to be?" So I'm like, "No, like 15 minutes, maybe max." He's like, "No worry, my brother. You can have as much time as you want. I'm just gonna bowl a couple of balls here, and then we can chat. Where would you like me to sit?" No, my brother. I'll help you with the chairs. I'll sit. Like I'm like, no, Imran, you go. I'll
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
He's like this the way he was. Then afterwards, he's like, "You want me here? What side do you want to sit?" Okay, my brother, no problem. He told me his history. He told me about his past. He told me about. Please go watch that interview, guys. It will give you a lot of insight. It's on the exclusive interviews tab on this channel. Just go ahead and go look for that interview. Imran was so excellent, like really. After the interview was done, Junaid Dawood and I don't know who the other guy was that was bowling with him in the nets. They were together and they asked Imran to teach them a couple of things. So obviously the insight and the conversation kept going, and the bus wanted to leave. So they were like, "Come, Imran, we're gonna leave." Like he's like, "No. I wanna still work with these guys here. I'm gonna help them out. I don't get like still help them out." So like, but the bus is gonna leave like in 10 minutes. What you gonna do? Don't worry, I'll walk. I was like, what? I was like completely take. I was like, that is hero quality. That is hero quality. Chats over there. That's a hero quality experience that I was like so taken aback. And from that day onwards, my respect levels were very high for Imran already. But that day, my respect level went through the roof because there was no need for him to stay back and
Yeah.
and teach these guys and give them skills. I'm quite shocked that he isn't actually in the side. He should at least be amongst this team, even in the squad, to give insight to the next generations of spinners coming through the system, like George Linder and so many others. So Brian is in this particular setup as well. He should be in the squad. I don't understand. He's the best spinner in the country. He should be one of the guys on the team
Shoot,
sheet. First, it's very shocking that doesn't happen, but that's hero quality. That, and he's one of my sporting heroes, I would say. An excellent story that I think a lot of people can learn a lot from.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, there's not many professional cricketers who would actually want to give their time. Like, you get those who give their time, but who don't actually want to give their time. But like, there's a select few that's actually 100% willing to help the next upcoming cricketer with their skills. Like
Mm.
someone who I also like really look up to is not like Protea or whatever, but Bash who plays at the Warriors is now leaving me at EP and going to Western Province. He's
Great guy.
someone, yeah, Bash, yeah, he is. And he's like that on and off the field. He's always willing to help. He's on my speed dial. He's on my speed dial. Actually, when I told him, I think it was in March, yeah, I was scoring and he played. It was a EP warm up game. And I was like, oh, Bash, like, I don't feel like I want to play anymore. And he just looked at me and was like, you last if you want to leave. So I was like, okay, this guy, like, leave me alone. Let me be in my feelings. So he's like, no, you last, man. I somehow don't want to talk to you. And then he just left. But then he messaged me and he was like, don't let other people dictate where you want to go with cricket. So I was like, you know what?
100%.
Like there's really very few guys that will actually give you time, and he's someone who spend time with
Mm.
me in the net. And like I know if I message him now, he'll probably video call me or something, say like that.
Yeah, Lisha, everybody always thinks they know what's best for you. Only you know, you will be the person that believes in yourself the most. Like when I decided I was going to start a business with no money, with no money actually, with the little money that I had paid out from me and my last little bit of savings to start Cricket Fanatics Magazine, everybody thought a lot of people thought I was crazy. And I know people would have thought that they were crazy, but they'll never tell you that because obviously um, it's like you live trying to live a dream over here and trying to build a
Yeah,
dream. I mean, I'm trying to build something over here so that I can have other things in my life that I would like to do that are on my bucket list. There's so many things. I want to write a novel. I want to write a series. I want to write music. I want to go surfing. I want to. There's so many things that I want to do in my life that I hope that will come from all of this. But Cricket Fanatics Magazine, a passion that I thought people will think you're crazy putting all dedicating all this time and effort into it, but I believe that it's going to work, and you have to believe that it's going to work. And I believe that there's fans that are following us consistently, and the people that are contributing, yourself and so many others that were mentioned in the comment section on a year with us today, that the rewards will come with the effort that you give in. When you put in rewards unselfishly and with not wanting anything in return, and you put your dream is your dream. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, and don't let anybody do that. So on to our next topic, Manchester United. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't win 21. You can't be the 21. You can't be win that 21 title. Let's talk about some of our heroes, because I mean there are some sporting heroes for me that really changed my life when it came to Manchester United. I was a 6-year-old kid, 7-year-old kid, round about there. There was that goal that people talk about against Tottenham Hotspurs that won United the league when Beckham put a curler into the top corner.
the
Um,
moment you say that, I was thinking Beckham.
yeah, number 7 on his back. I was looking through a shop window in Holland, watching this game on TV because I just wanted to watch TV. My parents didn't really let me watch a lot of TV. It was a lot of books. I used to read a lot, stuff like that. So when I had the chance to see TV, I was instantly drawn to it. And when I saw that goal, we won the league that day. And then excellently, there was a picture, a poster from that particular game that that David Beckham with a medal around his neck and Brooklyn Beckham on his shoulders. My father bought me that poster, and ever since then, David Beckham was my favorite player at that particular time. I put that poster on my wall. It might have been 2001 season. Then I came back to South Africa, and life caught up with me. So I didn't get to watch as much Man United games as I would have liked. So through our glory days, I didn't get to watch the games as much because my father was always a United supporter when we were crap. So like in the 80s. So like he was watching United when we couldn't win a thing. Like after the Busby era and stuff like that, he was watching Manchester United. And also because they had limited access during apartheid as well. They had limited access to what games they could see and what games they couldn't see. And a lot of the times, because those cup games, United used to be in the cups a lot during that Atkinson era, and we used to win a couple of trophies under Atkinson. He used to see that on TV, so he became instantly a Manchester United fan because of Brian Robson as well. So the number 7 goes through the family here because my father liked Robson, I liked Beckham. But
Yeah,
what changed my life forever was when we started getting DSTV and I was in high school. Now, at first, I used to stand on the ground and like before school, we all had our
yeah,
Blomplekke or our places where we used to chill
yeah.
on the school premises. And the talk in the morning until the bell rang was Premier League, what happened on the weekend, and you'll hear Liverpool, Arsenal. I just knew I loved United. I don't know what it was about him. I just loved Manchester United. Then I saw a game because we got DSTV and I was able to watch the games. I watched the game Sporting Lisbon versus Manchester United. And there was a young kid in the first half that tore John O'Shea apart. step overs, inside outs, tripping around, crossing in, shots on target. Just completely destroyed John O'Shea. I didn't know the story at the time, but I saw it and I was like, "Yo, I like this player. I hope Man United buy him." But I was like, we weren't buying great players at the time. We were linked with
Yeah.
Ronaldinho. I thought that would never happen. Only afterwards, I found out about the story about him going that Ferdinand spoke to John O'Shea, and John O'Shea's like, "I don't know what happened there. That kid just tore me apart. Boss, we need to get him." The whole of this, I only found out recently, a couple of weeks ago, actually, or a month ago, I watched an episode of Rio Ferdinand. We spoke about it. He said that on the team bus, they were all like, "Where's Fergie? They can't find him." The whole second half, he wasn't on the. He was trying to get this deal done. He was trying to sign the boy because Arsenal wanted him, Liverpool wanted him, and Ronaldo's mind wasn't really set up until Manchester United came and knocking on the door. He said he's not going to turn this down, and we signed this kid. He comes onto the field. His debut's all right. I mean, he played a couple of games when he was younger. Then he went out of the team, came back again, and he was a phenomenon. And he wore the number 7, and number 7 is my favorite number. And he's born. We share the same birthday, so my craze for him just went from zero to like he was my idol. I cut my hair like him. I had a shirt with his name and my number on the back.
I
Like
think
I wanted to
everyone cut
be here
their.
now. I was like, I wanted to be. My mother lost her mind. My mother lost her mind completely because my mother used to take me to this haircut, this hairdresser. This guy, it's around the corner from me, and I would cut my hair like Ronaldo with the mohawk and the hair at the back and the hair up front. My mother's like, "What is this on the back of your head?" She tells the hairdresser, "Cut this off now. He's not gonna wear this. He can't be going to. He can't be going around." I was like so sad because I cut my mohawk. I was like, yeah, so, but like I wanted to be like Ronaldo was my guy, and what an inspiration he is. What an inspiration he is. I mean, he's a hero to everybody, and I
Yeah,
think to all sportsmen because hard work pays off, and he is the epitome of hard work and talent. He had all the talent,
yeah,
he had the talent, but he had nowhere near the same amount of talent as someone like Lionel Messi. But for
yeah.
him to be able to become the greatest goal scorer of our generation, how lucky are we to be able to see someone like that?
Jeez, I know, like, and what I love about him is he's not just a hero on the field, but off the field as well. Because like he gives a lot, he donates a lot. So I was like, you know, there's a lot of players that don't feel like they should because that, but he's just someone. He's brilliant. He's also my hero. His posters are here. There we go. I love that guy. But yeah, like there's so many talented players in today's life that think they should be winning or succeeding just based on their talent. They're not willing to put in the hard work. And then you get someone like Ronaldo who has the talent but knew that he needed to put in the hours every single day to become Cristiano Ronaldo. And that is something that is just giving me goosebumps. Like I'm almost in tears. Yeah, he's like one of my biggest heroes as well. Like yo, and also David Beckham. I'm also a fan. I don't know how I became a Manchester United fan, to be honest, because my dad doesn't watch soccer. He's a rugby guy. My brothers, I don't think they are into sport. I'm not sure. I need to ask them. um, but yeah, also I think I also just watched the game, and David Beckham was playing, and then this guy with a funny name. I can't even remember. I don't know how to say it, so I'm not even gonna try. But
Wait, do you know
yeah,
what
then I started
position?
watching. I can't even remember that. Wait, Van Nistelrooy.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
yeah,
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 the striker
him.
up front.
Yeah,
What a guy!
yeah.
What a striker he
Um,
was. Gee was.
yeah. I remember, like, I took, yes, and that's where I learned it. That's where I saw this guy. It was first my brother's shirt, my older brother's shirt. So then I was like, who's this guy? I can't say his name. And he showed me the one day they were playing on TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to play like that. Like, 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 and I think what makes Man United the club that it is, it's the the bond, that the players share.
Mm.
That is something that always stood out. Like Alex Ferguson was Sir Alex Ferguson was also someone who I looked up to, even though he's just there on the sidelines chewing his gum, you know. Like my mom always used
What a
to say,
man.
like, isn't his jaw sore? So I'm like, his jaw can be sore, he can go fix it now. But yeah, he's also someone who I enjoy, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
Man United all the way. My current hero
Guys,
is Rash.
is it Rashford? Yeah, but what the guy he is. I mean, guys, do yourself a favor and go watch that documentary on Alex Ferguson because it will tell you what type of person he is and how he tried to build Man United in his mold, and coupled with
Yeah,
Sir Matt Busby's mold as well. He took some of his principles and mashed it with his own. Currently, yeah, United they are in a tricky situation currently, and I'm actually glad they lost the Europa League. And a lot of people will look at me and think I'm crazy, but I'm glad they lost the Europa League. And the reason why I say I'm glad, I feel that if they won that, it would have papered over too many cracks. There are certain problems
yeah,
at the club, especially from the Glazer perspective. I'm happy that some of the stuff that the Glazers actually said, but it's too good to be true in my eyes. I want to see it in action. We need to give
yeah,
Oli the signings that he wants. It's the first time I saw a manager come out in a post-match press conference, not a post-match interview, and say we need 3 or 4 signings in the first team to be able to compete with to the other players in the team and get closer to City. So for a manager to say that, it's a massive thing because you can easily get you into trouble from a job perspective. I think that them hurting, crying after that match, getting that feeling of defeat, I think that will bottle up inside them, and I hope it does. And they
yeah,
tell themselves, "Look, here, you never want to feel that way again." Because I remember how it
yeah.
felt to lose. You tell yourself you
Oh
never want to
yeah.
feel like that again. You
Yeah,
tell yourself you never want to feel like that again, and it motivates you in another level. And United,
yeah,
I mean, Ferdinand speaks about it so much. Ferdinand speaks about it so much when he said that when we came second in the league, the next season they're already thinking about the next season. They like when we lost, we told each other we never want to feel like that again, and that's how they win 3 trophies on the bounce. After the first season, they said they never used to party much. They used to celebrate the evening, and then the next day they were working already on the next season. That's driven mentality. Those guys are my heroes, 100%. That Man United generation of players under Ferguson, my heroes, and I think
yeah,
we have the talent of a year. If we can just add the right guys in the right positions, I think that Manchester United
yeah,
need a centre back, they need a DVM, and a right winger. We can be on that
yeah.
comes straight into the first team. Will be a whole different ball game when it comes to Manchester United.
Yeah, most definitely. Yo, that final was hard, so like,
It
like
really was
you know
also.
me, like when the Proteas play or something, I'm very animated on my statuses in the group or wherever. I'm very animated, especially like when we're losing. Like I get really upset. But when Man United lost, I was so disappointed. I was just quiet. I just went to bed. Like it was just hurting so much. I was like, oh, this is not a good feeling. And then like when I went on WhatsApp, I was like, what, waiting for the statuses to come on, and then an Arsenal supporter said something. I was like, who are you even? Like, whose club is this? You know? But yeah, it was very like heartbreaking seeing that. Oh, you know? But yeah, you're right.
It
I hope
was
it does
heartbreaking.
motivate them. Yeah,
I think it was more heartbreaking to me to see how sad they were when they lost, and to listen to Rashford's speech. Did you listen to his speech after the game?
nah, I just got
Okay, so do yourself a favor, please, Licia, and then message me afterwards and tell me. Go to I think it's on. I'm not sure if it's on BT or Sky Sports, but just type in Rashford speech after UEFA Europa League.
yeah.
It almost brought me to tears. Really, it was passionate. It was everything that you want a player to talk about. So we're nearing the end of it, guys. We're gonna wrap it up right now. I see a comment over here from
Um,
Ashit that I'm gonna answer. He wanted to know. He said, "Khalid, can you answer my question if possible? Just curious to know if this magazine you have started benefits you decently financial level, or there are some financial restraints still due to it." So I'll explain to you what kind of happened. From the beginning, I put in all the money that I basically had invested into into the platforms so that I can be able to produce the content, and so everything is currently there for you guys so that I can bring the content to you and the guys on this platform that are all coming on here, that they can also have a platform to promote themselves and get themselves out there and give them exposure. Currently, we are not making an income from this. The only income is a little bit of money here and there from YouTube. And the Patreons that have signed up, thanks you so much for the Patreons that have signed up to our Patreon. Their money is also helping us, obviously, a little bit inject something into us per month to let us push forward. We had a couple of sponsorships here and there, but nothing concrete. So if you guys want to get involved with Cricket Fanatics Magazine, please become a Patreon. It will really help us, boost us, and that will help me obviously make more money and be able to bring you better content, because at the moment I'm just using what I can and what I have available to me to give you the content, because it's about you guys first and foremost, and I'm hoping that you guys will repay us by us just working hard and giving you as much work and content as possible that we can. Also, there are some options on available to you guys as well if you want to promote with Cricket Fanatics Magazine. The link will be in the description to become someone that wants to invest in small business, or they want to get involved and help us create advertising campaigns for them. If they want to team up with Cricket Fanatics Magazine, we have the infrastructure to help anybody out there that is looking to promote their businesses. So please get involved. Please contact us and let us know. I don't do any other work besides this. This is my bread and butter currently. I just do Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I don't have the time, guys, to have a second job. This is a full-time job, trust me. When you have to deal with people like Licia, you have to have, full attention. No, I'm just
Yeah, I'm a
I'm just
difficult
joking.
client.
No, I'm just kidding with you guys. But no, when I want to put my heart and soul into this and give it the opportunity. I'm still young, and I think that if I give it my 100%, the only way I can create and get to the level that I want to get is if I put 100% into this. I can't bring you guys the content I've been bringing you if my mind is somewhere else and worried about other things. So I'm sacrificing the next couple of years of my life to get this up and running, and I hope that it works out. If it doesn't, I'll have to go find myself a job, guys, and we're going to have to stop doing this video. So please get involved and support us. Licia, shout out to anybody. Any final words that you want to say before we say goodbye to the people?
Geez, where's my list? Obviously, first on the list is the Offside Maidens. Guys, catch our shows every week. Fridays, we still, the times. But every week, Offside Maidens, catch us there. Coach Sia, always hats off. I'm always promising him a shout out, but I never do it. But yeah, shout out to him. And then shout out to all the cricket fans, keep supporting the game so that the women's game especially, so that we can grow and develop. And then to the cricketers, guys, don't give up. Don't let coaches put you in a box. Get out of that box. So yeah, cheers, mate.
That's excellent. Thanks, guys, for watching. This was the podcast live show, a different take on our cricket podcast and our shows on this channel. You'll get your regular content this week from Monday to Thursday, daily shows, and then Friday with the Offside Maiden show. So please tune in for that too. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Have a great week. I hope you guys get all the wishes that you wish for and all the dreams that you deserve. And it's a great week for all of you. All the success and all the best for this week. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care.